today we managed to get a hold of Yuri Sergeyev. He's Ukraine's ambassador to the United Nations, and he joins me now from the United Nations in New York. Ambassador Sergeyev, first let me get your reaction to what we've been seeing all over social media as well as on television screens around the world, and that is video of Ukrainian security forces using live ammunition on protesters. We're seeing some video as well of snipers and reporters on the ground saying many of the dead died of bullet wounds. And therefore, the government of Ukraine being very much accused of a heavy-handed response here. How do you respond?
Good evening. First of all, if you permit me to express my deepest condolences to the families and friends of for those who were killed in all these atrocities. Today is the National Mourning Day for the killed people. Answering your question, what we have today is a deep, multi-sided crisis, political, constitutional, social. This crisis has its roots both in the past and in the recent developments. Unfortunately, the confrontation, as we see from your reportage from Kiev, led to the huge amount of the casualties. It's a big pity what happened. The only way to out of this crisis, to put all the parties involved to the negotiation table. This is what we are observing while observing the missions from European Union, from United States,
right,
who are trying to mediate, mitigate, and even today the three ministers from France, Germany, and Poland.
But forgive me, Ambassador,
yeah.
I want to get to that meeting in a moment, but I want to again revisit the death toll here and how some of these demonstrators died, because we have eyewitness accounts of reporters in hotel lobbies counting bodies one after the other with bullet wounds to the head. It appears as though the police has been given authority to use live ammunition on demonstrators in Kiev.
Yeah, the violence should be stopped. And what is needed, the wisdom and responsibility from all the sides, the fast demand of all the people from around the world to stop the violence and then to return to negotiations. This is badly needed. We are too far with this crisis when people are being killed for nothing.
So you're saying the government itself should hold back, should pull its security forces back in light of what's emerged over the last 24 hours? You're saying, are you saying that the response was heavy-handed?
Every party involved, as I said, should demonstrate wisdom and to stop any actions which are bringing to the deepening of the clashes and and killing the people. This is obvious.
What should the government do now? What should it do now to try to solve this crisis? Your government.
So the only way to stop all the usage of all the weaponry, to stop the violence and to sit together and to continue the dialogue. I understand that after the visit of three ministers who met also the opposition, the president invited the opposition to have a talk. So we count on the results of this talk, as well as we count on the wise of the parliamentarians who try to gather today in the parliament and to find the solution out of the crisis, to find the solution of the constitutional crisis.
So, Ambassador, you're saying the government should stop using weaponry and dialogue should restart?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. This is what the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon stated in his recent message. This is what was said in other messages of leaders of other countries. This is obvious that the violence should be stopped.
The European Union is approving sanctions, asset freezes against members of the government they consider to be responsible for the violence, as well as visa bans. Do you think this will Well, let me ask you for a more general reaction to that. The United States also considering sanctions against those it considers responsible for the violence. How do you react to that?
The most important, now I'm repeating myself again, the most important not the judging what is going on, but to stop the violence. And what United States, what European Union, what other countries trying to state and to pursue Ukrainians to do to stop the violence.
Well, I got that point, sir. I just wanted your reaction to the idea that sanctions will be imposed. I mean, do you think they're justified?
I'm not commenting any sanctions, not the approach of any governments. The most important, the messages they are sending to stop the violence and to return to the negotiations, because still it is possible, still possible not to move it in a deeper atrocities. That's why what for Ukraine is important: mediation, mitigation, and as well as the wisdom from all our partners not to make any one-sided judgment, which could not be helpful to settle the crisis. So this is a complexity of measures to be introduced.
All right. Ambassador Yuri Sergeyev, the Ukrainian ambassador to the United Nations, thank you very much for joining us here on CNN on this very crucial and difficult time for your country.